Good day, podcast community. P. Kane here. We have a special guest from the wonderful city of Miami. We met a week ago and we said we've got to do a podcast with Nancy. So, Nancy, tell our community who you are, what you do, and who you serve.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. This is a true pleasure, and thank you for everything that you do for your community. I think it's fabulous work, so I appreciate it, and I'm sure that your clients as well. My name is Nancy Langevin, and I am a former international elite gymnast a long time ago. And now I am a clinical laboratory scientist at a large trauma center. But I also co-own and co-manage, coach at a fitness training facility here north of Miami.
Love it. When we met each other last week,
Mm-hmm.
when you said elite gymnast, I've had a
Mm-hmm.
lot of athletes on my podcast, and I'm amazed at the mindset of athletes in general, elite ones, people that make it to the professional levels, the elite levels. And one question I would love for you to share with our community: what do you think the mindset of an elite athlete and high performance coaching? Is there something similar that connects those two?
Absolutely. I think that as an athlete, especially nowadays, maybe when I was going through was a little bit different, but for an athlete, you have to have a well balanced life. And you can't just excel at your sport because you can train as hard as you can and go all the way there. However, if your other part of your life, your mindset, your psychology, your emotional well-being is not there, you're not going to perform at your best. So some of the things that we were training, and I think it wasn't done as well as it is done now, is that you have to have a balanced life. Everything else has to come, and not only do you have to excel at your sport, because if you're the other parts of your life are not at their best, you're not going to perform well. So I think that that's where it correlates, and resilience. I think resilience is huge for an athlete or for anybody in life, whether it is in your professional career, in
Mhm.
your with your relationships. You're going to have ups and downs, and I think that resilience is huge. Again, not only at the physical level, at your level of training within your sport, but every other area of your life. So, absolutely.
What do you think, just for our viewers, like
Mhm.
a lot of people start out in gymnastics, and it's
Mhm.
wonderful because it gets that body moving. What shifted in your journey that you pushed to the elite level? Was there a coach? Was there people that influenced you? What could you share with our viewers kind of got you to that level?
I think that the most important thing was my father, who from a very young age instilled in us that no matter what you want to do in life, you have to be the best, your best version. And I love sports and started doing gymnastics and started to go there and start moving up. But there definitely has to be other people in your life that support you, that encourage you, that mentor you. And for me, I would say that when I was about 14 years old, at that point, your career is almost over, right? For a gymnast, you really have to excel at that point to make it to that next level. There was a coach from China that came to train us, and he saw something in me that maybe at that point I still didn't believe. I wanted to be the best, but maybe I didn't comprehend fully what it required. And he pulled me aside and he believed in me, and he actually something just turned on. And I think that that's something that has to happen in your life, that there have to be, we really have to have good connections, good people around us, and people who, as you're talking about, a mentor that shows you the way. And just him believing in me that I had it within me to go all the way to the top, something switched. because I was training hard, I was practicing 30 hours a week, but still that mindset was not there. And for him to say, this is your time, you have a gift, and you need to go fully in or not do it. And I think that that's what we need to do as professionals, as athletes, as parents, as spouses. Whatever you're trying to work on, you really have to make a conscious effort, have clarity, have alignment. All the things that they teach us in high performance are crucial for success. But yes, connections are very important, and who comes into our lives that really fosters that growth.
That is so good. Thank you for that. Now, you know, from an outsider, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I look at gymnastics as those those times when we get injured
Mm-hmm.
and we have to work through that. Were there times in your journey that you found yourself at an injury that slowed you down, took you off course? And could you share with our viewers if there was, and what did you do to continue the journey?
Absolutely. I think we all go through that at some point. For me, it was almost career ending. I had arrived to the National Training Center. I made the national team and was preparing for international competitions. And at that point, it was my vision was to go to World Championships and then the Olympics, qualifying event for the Olympics. And I broke my back. So one day in training, I am learning a new skill in the foam pit where you think it's safe, and I landed incorrectly and broke my back. And people at that point were discarding me like, she's done. She's at, I think I was 15 or 16. She's done. It's over. I think 16. And something deep within me, obviously, as you're healing, a lot of thoughts go through your mind that maybe it is over. Maybe devastating, right? Devastating news, but you have to dig deep within. And I think that resilience, that um, just really going all the way inside to your soul, is this something that I really want to pursue? Just told me, yes, it is. And yes, you're going to get back up. So I think that that's one of my biggest strengths, not giving up, maybe sometimes to a fault, but I just decided this is not how the story is going to end. I'm going to come back and train, and it was very challenging because I had to go back to, like I said, my national team coaches basically said it's done. But I just healed first and then went back to my former gym to start training again and start building back up. And just that thought that this is not over, and you have within the power and to overcome anything that comes your way. And this is why I like to teach my clients, my athletes that I coach at the gym, and that I have had the pleasure to work with, that no matter what comes your way, that's part of life. You're going to be shut down again in all areas of your life, and it's up to you to get back up. And I did, and I made the team again, and I was on my way to go to World Championships. And here came another big setback, and it was just now something that was out of my control. The government decided that all international travel was halted, and we would not be pursuing that. You go like every 4 years. And again, it's over, it's done, and it's up to you what you want to do. And I said, it's not over. I actually maybe can continue gymnastics in the US. So I started to do whatever required to come here and compete here. So great lesson on resilience, and really prepared me for life.
Yeah, I love that. I had a guest on my podcast about 6 months ago, and we
Mm-hmm.
were talking about his journey. And
Mm-hmm.
we're all familiar with the term PTSD, but
Mm-hmm.
he took the D and, well, he didn't do it, but he
Mm-hmm.
learned this, substituted for G for growth. So it was post traumatic stress growth that
I
we go
love that.
through our trials. And I was like, holy mackerel, what a way to reframe something. So when you were 15, you're looking ahead.
Mm-hmm.
What could you share with our viewers? How did you grow through that kind of experience, and are you continuing to apply those growth opportunities when you hit trauma, when you hit a bad, story, the mess is in the middle, but what we
Mhm.
learn is after we get through it. What could you share with our viewers that you helped you?
That belief that I had it within me to accomplish it again. So, mindset, again, that's a recurring theme in my life, that how you view challenges, because they're going to happen to all of us. So,
Mhm.
how you view it, if you view it as something that you're done, you felt okay, it's over, or no, it's an opportunity to grow, just that, like you're mentioning, that growth mindset. I'm going to learn from this. I may have to tweak it and turn it around, because I know that I was very blessed that I was able to get back up and continue, maybe not at the same level that I could have otherwise, but you learn so much more by getting back up and getting through, and it really prepares you for further challenges that arise. So I think that mindset and always believing, the way that you look at a challenge or an obstacle, um, it's crucial. Not just see it as poor me. Almost, I hate to say this because it sounds maybe bad, like a victim, because a lot of people are worse than you are. Number one,
Mhm.
there's so many other people that don't get the opportunity, but you have to put yourself in this position that here I am, this happened to me, what am I going to do about it? So always future oriented. Just started seeing what can I do right now to change that, to shift that. And I love how you mentioned that growth mindset. So when you're always thinking about this is a challenge, an opportunity for me to grow, to change, to improve, then a whole new world opens up. And later on, I can share that I had, when we bought this fitness training facility, it was
Mhm.
during COVID. So it was not easy. And we had to endure a bunch of challenges because there was COVID and because the previous owners didn't do well financially. We were not able to get any type of loans to purchase it. And we
Mhm.
said, okay, there's another obstacle. Is this something that you really want? Let's look for different venues. And always a new opportunity open up. So you really continuously have to have that mindset of learning, of growing, of possibility. So really viewing through a different lens.
Hmm. I really thank you for sharing that. So, what would you say, like, when the challenges or those things hit you?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? Like, are you doing anything like journaling? Do you have people around you? How are you working through? Because you're right, they always come up, and
Mm-hmm.
we're always kind of we think that once we got this handled, hey, we're done.
We're
No,
done the rest of our lives. Yes, it doesn't happen that way.
yeah. Uh, um, how do you approach those times now, personally or professionally, that you've been able to prepare for by what you said about, just digging deep inside of you? Are
Mhm.
there are there people that you say, hey, you know what? I'm going through this. I need to my support system, whatever it is. What could you
Mhm.
share with our viewers helps you to continue to overcome the challenges in your life?
It evolves. When I was a young gymnast, at that point, it was the support from my parents. So people around you, your friends, that really lift you. So who you surround yourself with is huge. If you have negative people around you, they're gonna shut you down. Like, oh, it's over, never mind. So you can't do that. You really have to surround yourself with encouraging, lifting people who believe in you. And I was very, very fortunate to have a wonderful family. My parents were phenomenal. My dad pushed me to the max, and he didn't want me to do gymnastics because he was a very successful physician. So it was all about school and more the mind and your career. but then I was also blessed. So, but he taught me so much about resilience and not giving up and always striving to be the best. But my mom was very supportive and encouraging and always there for me. So having that at that point was huge, and great friends,
Hmm.
family. But then as I have gotten older, and I'm Catholic, so I believe in God, and I always feel like He has my back. So as I
Hmm.
have gotten older, where my parents are no longer with me, they're guiding me from heaven.
Hmm.
But now I just dig deep inside, and I find God. Just my faith is
Yeah.
what really gets me going, knowing that things are happening for a reason. Maybe it's supposed to be meant to be a lesson. Maybe it's supposed to push you forward. Maybe it's supposed to, I don't know. But when I go inside and say, really pray and try to figure out what is the path that I need to follow, wow. That's all I can say. It's really, and it's that light that lives within us, and it's different. Maybe some people don't believe in God, but it's the universe or a greater force. There's something out there. For me, it is God, but that light lives within each one of us. And when we really go inside, and I journal and write as well quite a bit when I'm, especially when things are tough. I will
Hmm.
start typing or writing and say like, I'm feeling this, I'm going through this, this is where I want to go. So always trying to be more, this is what happened, this is how it's making me feel, but where do I want to go from here, and not just dwell so much on the past. It's done, it's over, now where do I go from here? So journaling, my faith, your connections, your mentors,
Hmm.
huge, huge, huge. It's not just me, it's a whole community that keeps me going forward.
That's so good. I love when you mention the word journal.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up dyslexic and ADD, and writing was never my friend. But I've been
Mm-hmm.
journaling for 3 years, and it was after having had a stroke and being in a bed for 49 days, thinking
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
me a chance to think.
Wow.
I mean, slow down and think, but
Mm-hmm.
appreciate movement because, oh my gosh, when you aren't moving, and I ran in 20 plus Peachtree Road Race, I play golf 5 days a week.
Wow. Wow.
Go, I go from active
Mhm.
to not so active.
Zero.
But what happened is thinking gave me clarity, and then I started journaling, and I journal like a mad dog now every day, even in
Mhm.
the evening. I mean, it's given me such clarity. And if you
Yes.
would have told me 4 years ago I'd be journaling, I'd tell you you're crazy because it just wasn't in because I use Alexa and Siri about 10, 15 times during the day to spell
Mhm.
words.
Mhm.
So I've just got, but the whole therapy around journaling. So talk to our viewers like what would be one thing that you've gotten from journaling that you could share with our viewers about maybe encouraging them to push into a habit of journaling.
Clarity. If I had to define it in one word, it's just clarity. Because a lot of times we have mixed thoughts, mixed emotions, mixed feelings. And when we don't sit down, and you said it perfectly, when you quiet down, when you slow down, a lot of us are just go, 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 and I want to achieve, achieve, achieve. But we really have to gain clarity and realign. And when you slow down and start writing it down, you start making sense of your thoughts. You can develop a plan as to where you want to go, and it's like magic, honestly, because a lot of things start coming up that would not have come up otherwise. We get busy with life, especially
Yep.
nowadays. Life is so hectic and busy, and we have a million things to do. But when you sit down, quiet the mind, and start writing, it's almost like, and for me, it's God speaking through you in that way because He's giving you clarity, but you're also gaining clarity as to where you are now, what emotions you have, because it's not all about just achieving in our professional career, right? But other areas, this is happening, this is how it's making me feel. But then you're able to get some answers, and more than anything, clarity. It's huge. So I would encourage everybody to do it every single day, whether you do it early in the morning. I know some of my clients say, I don't have time in the morning, but you have 5 minutes before you go to bed. And it is huge, huge. I cannot emphasize it enough.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I would say if you have to ask me what would one thing journaling do,
Mhm.
it's clarity. It's
Mhm.
just I
Absolutely.
being ADD, I had the active
Mhm.
brain. So being having clarity is
Mhm.
now a superpower where it wasn't before. What would you say? Is there any other activity that you do that has helped you in addition to your journaling? Do you meditate? Do you do anything, or do you have a prayer life? I'm going to assume you do by what you
Mhm.
just shared with us. Is there
Mhm.
anything else in your life that you could share with our viewers that's helped you in your journey?
Yes, yes, tremendously. So when I started doing this on a regular basis, and I didn't do it when I was young, more as an adult, uh, establishing the routine of, as soon as you wake up in the morning, what are you grateful for? When we
Mm,
start the day with gratitude, your whole day finishes. It really sets you up for success. So I tell this to my athletes all the time. Very first thought, it's not I have to go train, I have to do this, because we have a tendency to do that, or we think of, oh, I'm so tired, I don't feel well. You open your eyes and it's a new day. This is the blessing that a lot of people don't have, right?
mm,
So start with, I am so grateful to be alive. I'm so grateful for my family. I'm so grateful for whatever your situation might be. Everybody finds themselves in different places. We
mm.
start the day with gratitude. Secondly, I would say some sort of exercise. And for me, and I didn't discover this till later in life. Just going outside for a run or jog. And when I can't jog, I have some health issues. At some point, I have lupus. So there's some times where I don't feel well. Get
Mhm.
yourself up and go out for a walk, even if it's a 5-10 minute walk, and brings you clarity. You get a little bit of sun, fresh air, and it just does magic for you. So definitely prayer at night. That's usually I quiet my mind. I go inside. I was never a meditator in my whole life because I'm very energetic. I like to move and do and accomplish. But I realized that by quieting down, slowing down, and everybody meditates differently. For me, it was that going through those walks and with nature, just being quiet. But I've also made myself do it. And I realized, again, this is like another challenge that I used to say, I cannot meditate. And I went to a conference, Joe Dispenza,
Mhm.
and I thought this is going to be so difficult. I'm not going to be able to do it. Guess what? I did great. So there was something new that just was born. I think because my whole life, no, you cannot meditate. And even if it's just 2, 3, 5 minutes a day, just going quiet within, slowing down your mind, it does wonders for your health, for your energy, for your clarity, all of these things. So, gratitude, trying to slow down, some sort of meditation, exercise, and prayer are the four things for me.
Oh, I love it. All right. Now I want to shift just a little bit.
Mm-hmm,
So being a working at the hospital, a scientist, very busy, I just my perception of it. You own a
mm-hmm,
gym
mm-hmm,
with somebody, you're a high
mm-hmm,
performance coach.
mm-hmm.
What do you like to do when you're not performing? What do you like to do for fun?
I love to travel. There's
Mhm,
not a lot of time because there's so many things to do, but I always make it a purpose that you're going to go somewhere at some point during the year a couple of times.
mhm.
You just disconnect, you explore, you see different people, cultures. I love traveling. When I can't travel, obviously you can't do it all the time. I just like to be outdoors, just being in nature,
Yeah.
playing tennis, which I don't do enough. I love to. Again, it's maybe a social activity. It involves movement and exercise, which I love. So yeah, outdoors, doing some sort of exercise and traveling. And I really catch myself a lot listening to podcasts,
Mhm.
listening to self development, anything that has to deal with growing. I have become a junkie to, as soon as I get in the car, turn it on, and it just opens up to so many new opportunities, meeting new people like our CHPC community. Wow. It's just fabulous. Just being open to exploring, to learning, that just feeds my soul.
Well, I'm a former golfer. I don't play much now that much, but
Mhm.
we call it teeing it up. I don't know. It's a term that you would just kind of. It's like when somebody. Have you ever heard that term, tee it
I
up?
had not. I had not. No.
So what it means is like when somebody says something and you basically prepare the person that's on the other end for the next message. So I'm going to put this up because a lot of what we do, we promote Growth Day. We promote
Mhm.
personal development. And I know I can just listen to you and I know your philosophy, your mindset of
Mhm.
personal growth. I do the same thing. I geek out. I was at the gym this morning listening to a podcast. I'll listen to Brendan. I'll listen to just different things. But it's just kind of, some
Mhm.
people listen to music, and I do, but not
Mhm.
at the gym. I'm learning, I'm
I
growing.
agree. Yep.
And
Yep.
that's kind of been the excitement of getting there is I know I'm going to grow while I'm there. So I'm not really thinking about the bike and all the things. So for
Mhm.
our viewers, if they go to pkane.me/growth day, you can try it for 7 days. And if you try it and you send us a support ticket at support@pkane.me, I'll send you my free course, Mindset, Goals, and Habits.
I
Because
love it.
these three things, you're going to be in better shape. So, Nancy,
And I honestly, I would love to say that I hope they do it. Growth Day has been a life changer as well. When you start the day listening to the encouraging daily fires, they're phenomenal. There's so many videos, and it's amazing. I cannot say enough good things about it. It really gets you going for the day. It reminds you of so many things. It gives you so much clarity. It's amazing.
what have you found in Growth Day that you like the most? What has connected with you, either an instructor or, challenge, mastery? What have you found that you've enjoyed the most out of that community?
Um, I think the variety of speakers that they have, the all the videos that they have, I love Ed Milet. Number one, just he being a former athlete as well. And very matter of fact, very humble as well. He's a person of faith. There's
Mhm.
something that just clicks with me, but Brenda, my gosh, and they have so many different speakers that a lot of times I happen to, every day, as you know, you get the two videos, right? Brendan motivating you to start the day. I absolutely love it, but then
Mhm.
you will get something different, and it's always somebody different. And it just seems like, oh my gosh, I needed to hear that today. It's almost like somebody sending me a message that was exactly what I needed. So but then there, the whole library of, I find myself listening to more and more and more. I'm addicted. I'm addicted because there are just so many different people with different points of view that will click with. We all learn differently. We all want different things in life. And there's so many people that you will be able to gravitate towards. Um, Trent Shelton. I mean, there are just so many
Yeah.
that are there that the variety is amazing.
Oh, that's so good. I'll share a little Growth Day story. So
Uh-huh.
I was in LA about 10, 12 years ago working with a client. And I was doing social media at the time, and she said, "Hey, I've got a ticket to this guy up in San Francisco. Do you want to go with me?" And I said,
Mhm.
"On the West Coast, so yeah." And I
Sure.
go to it, and it's Brendan, and it's like blew my socks off. I mean, it was like, holy mackerel, because
Mhm.
I had been kind of a Tony Robbins kind of person.
Same,
I,
same.
yeah, and I saw him, and I went, you know how some people connect with you? He connected with me. I mean, I love what Tony Robbins has done, but I'm not a walk on fire. I'm not that kind of person. That didn't really float my boat, so to speak. But I lost track of him for like 12 years. And then
Mhm.
I'm listening to the Ed Milet podcast, and he's on there and he mentions Growth Day. And I'm going, holy mackerel. Not only did I see Brendan for the first time in like 12 years or 10 years. But he mentioned that. So I go, dang, that sounds cool, man. He blew my socks off in San Francisco. So I jumped in, signed up, and then I just kept, I went to the mastery. I got coached by him. I got certified. And it's been a journey for about a year and a half, almost to the point is I've always loved personal development.
Mhm.
Day is absolutely,
It's a
it,
different level.
yeah,
It,
it's just when
mhm,
you hear something, you go, "I needed that. I
mhm.
needed that at that time." So thank
You
you
know,
for
this is funny that you say that because I saw an ad. So I used to listen to Ed Milet, his podcast, and then he was going to be with Brendan, and I had heard of him, but not much. And then I said, "It's my birthday, and we're going to because we live in Miami, north of Miami, and this was a conference in Austin." And I said, "We're going." So that was the birthday present for myself to myself. And my partner said, "Okay, here I'm dragging him to another." It has transformed his life as well.
yeah.
So we went there, and unbelievable. And I keep thinking, Brendan, is almost like the. I keep saying I'm like him because we have the same values, we have the same energy level. We want to serve, we want to help people. Um, humbly, like we don't like, I don't like people that are very condescending and they feel like they're better than somebody else. That's something that was ingrained from a very young age in me. And that's him. He's so down to earth, so nice, so energetic, just in his knowledge. My gosh, he just has a gift for speaking. That's where we're very different because I'm newer to this. But as soon as I saw that growth day, and now I'm a CHPC, and it's a whole new door has opened up, and it is so exciting, and I cannot wait to continue helping people in a different way now through CHPC. It's phenomenal. I'm so
Awesome.
blessed. I'm so grateful.
Yeah. That is, it's so cool because I've had a few of my people in my community join Growth Day, but
Hmm.
it's like I haven't talked to, like we just talked about,
Hmm.
anybody that has dove into it and really has gotten I don't know if you say the meat out of it, whatever it is, gotten
Hmm.
the fire out of that community. It's just nothing
Hmm.
like it when it just gets a hold of you and just grabs you where it
But
needs
I
to.
don't know, do you feel like, what is your view when you started meeting all the people in this community? Every single one has been
Yep.
so encouraging, so nice, so welcoming, so willing to serve. They just have a different vibe. I mean, I love it. It's phenomenal. Do you feel the same
Totally
way?
agree. Absolutely. When I did it last year, because I've been
Hmm.
in CHPC for a little over a year, I
Uh-huh.
got rid of social media when I had my stroke, needing my brain to heal.
Hmm.
I had been in social media, so I understood it, but I
Hmm.
gave up TV, I gave up coffee, I gave up alcohol, I gave up all these things to challenge myself. And
Hmm.
when I took the first year, it was like it was a fire hose, like you go through, and but I wasn't connected to anybody through any of this, like Facebook, the group, or anything. So I really was in not a bubble, but not really besides Mark Matthews, who coached me for 6 months, and a couple others, I wasn't really connecting
Connected.
to the community because I was separated. I even didn't even go to the monthly things because it was online. It wasn't until the app really started to develop that I could get everything I could get through the app.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't find it in different places. It just wasn't something that I was good at doing because I'm not really on. I don't do email that much. I'm not on the computer except to do the podcast. So I was kind
Mm-hmm.
of disconnected. This time around, it was different. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, we're settled in, and like I met you, and it was like, wow, what an incredible person. And I
Oh,
think
thank you.
ready to get more out of the community.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I love to hear that.
and I just one day ago, I told I have two people in the Philippines that do all the technical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, I'm getting back on social media because
Okay.
if it's kind of like if you don't amplify, you you miss the echo effect that's possible. And
For
it's like
sure.
a lot of content I love creating, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really done any social media. So I'm looking forward to having boundaries because
Mm-hmm.
you got to have.
Actually, that is a huge lesson to learn, right? Those boundaries, who you surround yourself with, who you, not close the door, but always do it with kindness and empathy. But
Yeah,
you have to really surround yourself with good people that are going to build you and support you. And then you do the same for others. And this community has been great. And the CHPC training, wow, unbelievable. And I do have to share a quick story, if I may.
sure.
One of the people, we had to do role play, right? So one
Yep.
of the people that I role played with, I was the coach and she was a client. And that confidence, that boost that gave me, like, I can do this. She basically was having some problems and we were working through them. And at the end of the session, she said, this is the impact of this program. At the end of the session, she said, I have been wrestling with this problem for the whole year. And you, in 20 minutes, just give me the clarity and the solution. Thank you. I mean, she was so grateful and so, oh my gosh. So I just felt like this is what I want to do, to help somebody who has been struggling. And at the beginning of our little talk, her tone was just like she was flustered with this problem and all this. And at the end, it was like this happy person that was just like you could see the light coming out of her. I loved it. So that's the kind of impact that I want to help with the people. And I'm super excited.
Yeah, I can say the same thing. It was like one after another, and I was ready to kind of be in a better position this year
Mhm.
versus last year. So, yeah,
It's
it is an
wonderful.
amazing community. So,
It is.
Nancy, I want to be respectful of your time. So, tell as we wind down, what would be the one thing that you would want to share with our viewers that you want them to take home from our time on the podcast?
Never give up and never feel that you're too far down, that there's no hope. There is always an opportunity to get back up. And more than anything, that you have the power within to get through that challenge. And on the other side of the challenge lies a whole new world, an opportunity. And it might be different than what you hoped or expected, but I can guarantee that it's going to be better. So get back up. There is hope, there is light. Keep going forward. Every single human being.
Love it, man. That
Thank
was so
you.
good, Nancy. The
Thank you.
viewers don't know, but before we came on, we were
Mhm.
working through some technical issues, and we kept trying different things. The email would I wasn't sending the email. We tried this, tried that, and we finally connected. And so, yeah.
And it has been fabulous. So what a joy. What a gift. I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, thank you so much for being a guest on our show, and we really appreciate you
Thank
sharing
you so
a
much.
little bit of your story today with our community.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity and wish you much success.
Thank you, Nancy.